In this lesson, we're going to look at how to change a number type. Our objectives: understand how to change integers into decimals or fractions, understand how to change decimals to fractions, and understand how to change fractions to decimals. Vocabulary: place value, location of a digit. Numerator, top number in a fraction. And denominator, bottom number in a fraction. We're going to start with the easiest one: integers into decimals or fractions. So what I have here are three different types of integers: a positive, a negative, and zero. Basically, an integer to a decimal is very simple in that we just add decimal places. So we add as many decimal places as we need. If we need 1, we put our number, put a decimal point, and just add a 0. So we needed 1 extra decimal place. If we need 2 extra decimal places, we put our number, add a decimal point, and put 2 zeros after it. If we would need, say, let's go with 4 decimal places, we would put our number, add a decimal point, and add 4 zeros. So really, to change an integer to a decimal is just the fact of adding a decimal point and as many zeros as are needed. To turn an integer into a fraction, this is just as easy. The word integer really means a fraction with a denominator or bottom number of 1. So we can take our number 12, put a division bar or a fraction bar, and put a 1 underneath. Next, we want to look at a decimal to a fraction. So to do this, we need to focus on the number and the place value. So here we have just a basic decimal without a number in front. So we're going to turn it into a basic fraction. What we do is we take our number at the end. So the 0, 4 is just 4. So we're going to go with 4 over. And then we look at the place value, the last place value. The last place value here, we've got tens, then hundreds, so this would be 100 on the bottom. So 4 over 100. The place value tells us the denominator. Here we want to take a decimal to a mixed number. So if we want a mixed number, we start with our number in front of the decimal point, this case being 42, and then we put our number after the decimal point as our numerator or top number, 3. And then our place value is our bottom number. So this right here is in the tenths place, meaning we need a 10 for a bottom number. A decimal to an improper fraction is pretty easy also. We actually, in this case, for the negative, we're going to put a negative just in front of the whole fraction. We're going to take this whole number without the decimal, so we just basically ignore the decimal point and go with 5,027 on the top. So we just write this number without the decimal point. Then we're going to look again at the last place value. Tenths, hundredths, this would be thousands. So we put 1,000 on the bottom. The last one that we have is changing a fraction to a decimal, and this one's the one that takes the most work. This one actually takes division because this fraction bar is actually a division bar. What we do is we take the top number divided by the bottom number. So we're going to go 2 divided by 5. Now in this case it was negative, so our answer is automatically going to be negative. So we need to put in a decimal point because we can't take 5 into 2. Bring our decimal point up, 5 divides into 20. Well, we can count this out. We can use a calculator. 5 divides into 24 times. 4 times 5 is 20. We're left with a remainder of nothing. So we have negative 0.4, or negative 0.4 is negative 2/5. For a mixed number, we can take our 3 and just put it in front of the decimal point, and then divide 1 by 4. The numerator goes inside the box, denominator goes outside the box. Again, 4 doesn't divide into 1, so I'm going to put a decimal and 0, bring my 0 up, bring up my decimal point. So 4 goes into 10 2 times. 2 times 4 is 8. We're going to subtract here, leave us with 2. Then we need to put another 0 because we're not done. Bring that 0 down, so we're really dividing into 20. 4 divides into 20 5 times, so we get 0.25. Well, we have the 3 where the 0 is supposed to be, so we're going to keep the 3 and just bring down 0.25, since 5 times 4 is 20, and we're left with nothing. Our last one is an improper fraction. These are actually no more work than any of these. We do the same idea. Numerator goes inside the box, denominator outside the box. 2 divides into 9 4 times. That's going to leave us with 8. And when we subtract, we're left with 1. 2 doesn't divide into 1, so we're going to need to bring a decimal point and put it at the top. Bring in a 0, carry it down. 2 divides into 10 5 times. 5 times 2 is 10. We're left with nothing and no more digits, so 4.5 is our answer here. Alright, thank you for watching this video. If there are any questions or you need any more help with this, just rewatch some of the parts or bring your questions to class. Thank you.